Hey, Design for Theater. Hope that yesterday was useful for you to catch up in whatever course you need. Maybe it was Design for Theater, maybe it was another class. But last week, the goal was for you to prepare two things. You should have created your measuring tool to kind of create whatever size of paper you have, and you only need a pencil. And then your croquet, which is your tool to kind of use to create models for the piece of paper that you have. So it might be bigger, it might be smaller, whatever you have. So for today, what you should do is use this to trace another cleaner human model. So I use this, I put it underneath, and then I created a cleaner version of my blank human model to kind of go off of. So this is not something that you are going to draw directly on. So this is going to keep around as another tool. So these are your two tools going forward for the rest of costume design. And so I have my clean human model, whatever, if it's male or female, whatever you choose it to be. But this is where I start off. So I'm going to switch over to some notes. But the main thing for Tuesday, today, and Thursday is just think about line. Don't think about color. Don't think about texture. So as we progress through costume design, that's the order you should think in. So don't skip through what texture is this character wearing. That is skipping over crucial steps. The first is, how does line shape character? How can I create silhouette is the thing that I'm going to talk about. So I'm going to move over to my notes. Those are also posted in the Canvas module that I kind of showed you yesterday. These are the notes for the Canvas module. And so to kind of reiterate, the theme and concept that you looked at for Into the Woods, you can kind of use the one that you posted for the design concept assignment. So the style, remember that the style is kind of what world do we live in? So are we a more realistic version of this, or are we more stylized and kind of abstract? Maybe we're at a kid's birthday party instead of a truly Into the Woods. The elements of design from that first week, remember those? We're only using 3 of them for costumes mainly: color, line, and texture. This week we're focusing on just line. So for line, how costumes work is that there's both exterior and interior lines for costumes. Right, the exterior line, if you just look at the silhouette, that's really going to inform time period, especially for women of the 1800s. I'll show you in the next slide. But then the interior line also kind of provides character. What patterns is the character wearing? What buttons do they have on? What folds fold over in the costume? How loose or how tight do they wear their clothes? That is really all the line suggests for costumes. So, like I said before, that the 1800s for women in dresses really can show what decade of 1800s you're in. So you can get really specific just by looking at exterior line. And so progressing through the 1840s all the way through the 1890s, it kind of enlarges the silhouette and then reduces the silhouette of the dress. Men, you can see that what their silhouette looks like in the exterior line, the coattails kind of change, the length of them, how loose they are, how tight they are on the body. That is really telling a time period. The next step for you folks is only think about how lines shape the character. Do not think about color yet. You're skipping steps if you do that. So what you should produce is something like this. There is loose lines on this character. This is Cadmus from Foul, Mess, and Thebes. And so he's wearing his clothes very loosely. The lines are loose on his body. There are folds and wrinkles within his shirt and pants. There are suspenders. His tie is crooked. All of these suggest character, and we haven't even thought about texture or color yet. So that's really what you should focus on. The female character I'm using is Jocasta, and so the line suggests a 1950s housewife feel, hopefully. And the heels also kind of provide that. So the interior line of the tight belt, how tight she wears it, but also the interior line of that V. It's kind of a modern take on that. So that's kind of what I was going for this. So those are the 2 things you should focus on, is just producing something that looks like this for Thursday. I'll create a submission for the assignment for Friday, and let me know if you have any questions.